Hi, Shihan Noel here. Thank you for joining us for another technique of the week. Today we're going to be working on the two-finger lock. Typically when we work on a lock where someone is assaulting us and we've got them in a wrist lock, an arm bar, there's usually two parts to the technique. We don't generally do it one-handed, although this is basically an exception to that. But I'm going to explain. So what we do is when we put in the lock, there has to be some kind of base. In other words, if I'm doing a simple wrist lock, a kodagaishi, if you will, the base is my grabbing his wrist, and the pain applicator, or the dynamic part of the moving part of this, is me pressing on his wrist, or his hand rather, as I torque his wrist. When we do the two-finger lock, basically where I'm going to be with this is I'm going to be here, but ultimately I'm creating the base and the pain applicator, if you will, with the dynamic part of the lock with my same arm. I have the base here, I'm taking the wrist and placing it against his forearm, and then I'm also grabbing the fingers and bending them opposite the way they're created. The hand was created to bend this way, and I'm kind of playing God here and trying to bend it the opposite direction. So when he comes in, let's do off a choke, all right? So he's basically got two hands, he's choking me, I come in and I hit him here to loosen up his grip. And what I do is I bend the two fingers here, and this hand just comes in and grabs these two fingers, and I lock in place. Now I have a couple options here. I want to get him off balance. I don't want him in balance. He can punch me with his other hand. Fortunately, I've got this hand free. It's not a technique where I've got both hands tied up. But as I do it, I can either pull the hair back, right? I can grab the nostrils and grab the eyes underneath his glasses, or I can just take and lock in place this way. And for him to try and punch me in the face is going to be hard to do. And I've got this very loosely on his hand, but you can really crank down. You have a ton of leverage here and really can cause some serious pain. And I haven't even gotten into doing some type of kick or other attitude adjustment technique. So he's coming in and striking me here. I'm going to hit him in the throat, peel his hand away, and then feed this here. Again, let's go from this side. I'm just adjusting. There's a release button right here above the notch at the base of the throat. So I'm hitting that with a nikite, or three fingers. And then I'm peeling these two fingers away. So he's got his hand on my throat, I'm hitting him here, and then bringing these two fingers in to peel the hand back. So I'm trying to loosen him up. If he's trying to choke me, he's obviously got a very strong grip. So I'm hitting him here. I could also add a knee strike to the technique, knee to the groin, but I'm pulling these two fingers back so that I can feed these two fingers. Notice that my thumb is down as I grab the hand here. I'm going to immediately pull back into my chest. So this is the base. I want to lock his arm tight into my chest and then bend down on the fingers. From here, I can hit him first, but I want to pull him back, some manner, shape, form, or whatever here. I'm going to grab his hair. I'm going to grab his eyes, grab his nostrils. Right? We're not going to grab try to grab the mouth because I don't want to get bitten, but I can grab underneath the jaw here, or I can just bring my arm in, and that's more commonly what I practice, is coming in here and just bring this to here. I've got a ton of leverage. He is way off balance. He's not going to be able to mount much of an attack. And I could, if I need to, I could just walk him right to the principal's office. Okay? So again, the choke is here. Release, loosen up this hand. Here, then bring this up, lock in place, here and down. All right? Again, if you'd rather pull on his hair, unfortunately, some of us don't have enough hair to grab a hold of, so he would be, if he was doing this to me, if I was the assailant, he'd be better off doing the technique I'm doing. But if you got somebody with long hair or long enough hair, you could just do it this way as well. I like coming here because I can really control his other hand. If I bring this around to here, right, he tries to do anything with that hand, I can pop it here, hit the groin, hit him in the throat with the technique, all right? There's another way we can get into this technique. Recently we did the reverse wrist lock. So I could do where I come up and I bump. This could be off a push, right, or it could be off a choke. And all I'm doing is just popping this arm up, right? I could still do this and then here, but I lock in place with the reverse wrist lock. Then I bring these two fingers here, lock in place, and hold them down, all right? Foot trapping optional, all right? One, here, pull this apart. Or I could do the reverse wrist lock from here, I'm going to bring this hand up, lock in place, down. Now that in and of itself, I could take him to the ground as we showed you in an earlier video. But from here, if I don't want to pin him on the ground, I want to walk him somewhere, I just lock these two fingers off, and I can either grab the hair as I showed you, or I can do, too hard? I can just bring it to this way, and then we come out, and we walk, okay? So that gives you two options. There's plenty more we could show you, but essentially the technique is all the same. I want to end up with his arm against my chest. His arm is against my chest, my arm is pushing him there, and then I'm bending. Here. Now some people are very sensitive to this technique, and you're going to get compliance right away. Some people take a little bit more. I've had some students that were so flexible, I literally had to look like their fingers were down here much further. So the range of motion can be more exaggerated, but you want to be real careful. You want, as you start to work this with somebody, you want to get to know their body. You want to start out slow, keep it safe, and then work until you get compliance. And notice that Sensei is tapping. What that means is when he taps, that means that I've gotten to the limit where he's in pain and I need to not go any further. All right, so just to demonstrate one more time, we're going to basically come in and lock in place here. I'm basically taking and releasing him here with a strike to the throat, just above the notch here, and peeling this away, feeding it to me, locking in place here, and then get him off balance. All right, I like to actually fit in and be right in here with the technique. Or we can come off of a reverse wrist lock. From here, again, I could take him to the ground, but I'm going to essentially feed him into here and walk him down the street. All right. And this could be worked off of a push as well. We've shown where we do just one hand push. I block, do it again, please. He comes in, I lock in place, and I want to walk him up the street. We'll walk this way. He's on his knees, or I can wait until he gets up on his feet. So essentially, I'm doing 1, 2, lock in place, hold him. Or if he's doing two hands, I showed you earlier how you can just bump his, in this case, his left arm, pop it, get it to the lock, and then feed it here, and then do whatever you're going to do to get him off balance. All right. So that is the two-finger wrist, or the two-finger lock. And all I'm doing is I want to have his fingers pointed down, and my thumb is on top. So that is the position you want to end up getting to. There are several other ways to get into that technique, but that'll give you a couple to work from. Hope you enjoy working that. It's a very potent technique, and since Matt hopes you get it down soon. It was painful for him to be a uke for. But my name again is Shihan Noel. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.